Okay, we're still multiplying matrices, and we're looking at number 19 here. Number 19, right there. Now then, we say, does the product exist? I'm asking you, can you multiply these matrices? And so you have to know the dimension. So this first one, how tall is it and how wide is it? And then the second one right here in part A, how tall is it and how wide is it? So if we look at these, we can see that this multiplication is not possible. The reason it's not possible is these two numbers are not the same. So this one is a no way. No, can't do it, right? Let's look at this one. Can I multiply these two together? How tall and how wide? That's, the first one is a 2 by 3, right? And the second one, how tall is it? 3 by 4, right? Yay! Well, we know we can multiply those two together because we're looking at the inside parts here. These two are the same, so that means yes, I can multiply these guys together, right? That's what that means. So you have to be able to do that. You have to know when you can multiply and when you can't, all right? And then something else that happens is when you multiply them together, here let's look at 20. Let's look at 20. When we're working on 20 right here. If the dimension is r by p and the other one is q by r, right? The only way you can multiply it together is if the r's are on the inside, right? So that means you're going to have to make it so that t is first, right? And then n is second. Because when you multiply, it has to be q, r, and then r, p. These two guys have to be the same or you can't multiply, right? These two guys have to be the same. So it has to be that order. So t has to be first, n has to be second. Because if you do n times t in your calculator, it won't work. Now, check it out. How big is your answer? Well, if these things are the same, then this is the size of your answer. Q, P. Really? Yep. That's how tall it is. Q is how tall it is. P is how wide it is. Okay? So now let's do some and see if we can actually work it out. Now we're going to use our calculators. And the calculator will tell you can't do it if it'll tell you the dimensions don't match or there's a mismatch on the dimensions whenever you try. So if you happen to try two that aren't the right way, then it's not going to work. So let's look at this one. All right. So first of all, this is a 1 by 2 and a 2 by 1. No problem. We can do that. 1 by 2, 2 by 1. 1 by 2 times a 2 by 1, right? We know we can do that because the inside parts are the same size. These two are exactly the same size. And then we also know how big the answer is. It's going to be a 1 by 1. Really? Yep. So let's do it. So remember the way we do it. We go to our matrix, which is second, and on mine it's the fifth one down. Matrix. Now then, I need to edit this top one because it's not 2 by 1 anymore, right? This one's a 1 by 2. So I have to go back over here, and I'm going to change this to be 1 by 2. So now I change the size. and then I just type in 5 and 3. 5, enter, 3, enter, and I'm done. Right? 5, enter, 3, enter, and then I do second quit to get out of there. Second quit. Right? Now then, I need to enter the other matrix. It is second matrix. Right? And now I'm editing number 2, because this is 2 tall and 1 wide. See, that's not the size I have there, so I'm going to edit matrix B, and it's going to be 2 by 1, right? 2 tall, 1 wide. So I'm going to put in -1 and 0. Yay! Now then, what do I want to do? I want to multiply A times B. So I type it in there, A times B, and what do I get? Da 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 da! -5. Remember, all they're doing is taking the first one, 5 times this, and the second one, 3 times that, and then adding them together. So that's -5 plus 0 is -5. So the answer is -5. Yay! Let's do it again. So just to practice, we have to go to our matrix button. So now we're multiplying these two together. Now this one is a, what is this one? This one's a 3 by 2, and this one's a 2 by 3, right? So I know I can do it because these guys are the same size, right? And I know how big my answer is going to be. My answer is going to be a 3 by 3. So it's going to be 3 tall and 3 wide when I'm done, right? So let's see. Let's see what we get. So once again, I have to go to second matrix. Then I go over to edit. And, whoops. I have a 3 by 2 matrix, so I have to change matrix A. I'm going to edit matrix A, 3 by 2 matrix. Okay? So what are the numbers? 5 and 3. So I'm just going to type in 5 and 3. And then the second row, -7, -7, -1, and then 6, 2, 6, 2. And when I'm done, I do second quit, like that. Second quit. The mode button right above mode is quit. Okay, now I've got matrix A in there, no problem. Now I need to get matrix B in there, so I do second matrix one more time. And I'm editing, so I have to go over to edit, and I go down to number 2 because that's the one I'm changing. And this one is 2 tall and 3 wide, so I have to change it because see, mine is not the right size. So I'm going to hit edit, 2 tall and 3 wide. Okay, what are they? 6, 4, 3. So I put in 6, 4, 3, and then -1, -1, -1, and 7. Yay! Then I just do second quit. Okay. Now I want to multiply those two together, A times B. So A times B is what I want. What do I get? Remember I told you it was going to be a 3 by 3 matrix when we're done. Look what I got. Oh, you can't see that. 27, 17, 36, and then I have negative numbers on the second row, and then I have positive numbers on the third row. That's what we get when we multiply this times this, right? That's the whole idea, right? We can do that with one hand tied behind our backs. Okay, let's see if we can figure out this one. If I multiply a 2 by 3 times something, and I get a 1 by 2, right? So this one is 2 by 3. This one is 2 tall and 3 wide. And this one is 2 tall and 1 wide. So my question is, what's the dimension of this guy? How big is A? Well, you know that if it has to multiply times this, that the inside parts have to be the same, right? So that means I automatically know that the inside part has to be 3, right? So this is going to be 3 right here. This one has to be 3, right? 3 times what? Well, now the answer when I'm done is 2 times the number that's outside here, right? Well, if the number outside is 1, then that makes it work. 2 by 1, that's the answer. 3 by 3 makes it possible. A has to be a 3 by 1 or it doesn't work. Make sense? I certainly hope so. That makes sense. That is the deal. Let me erase this one right here. Alright, oops. And then the next question, how do you know whether you can multiply? And we've got it up here really clear. I think it's very clear, so we'll see. Very clear. The way you know you can multiply is if the two inner dimensions, right, if those guys are the same, that's when you know that you can multiply. If they're not the same, you cannot multiply. Okay? Now we're ready for part 3. We'll stop this one and come back.